So today we built a few of these kits. It's a TAMIYA truck kit. We have a hobby shop in another town, not so far away. So it's kind of cool to have a hobby shop to go to because they're kind of hard to find. We don't like buying a lot of stuff online. So we have a TAMIYA kit. The boy, I think, already opened this thing to have a peek, right? That's okay.
I just wanted to see if it's one to build or not.
Yeah, no, it's totally worth building. So it's a Nissan King Cab Junior. It's kind of one of their big tire. It's like we have a dump truck, and then what's the other one? Bullhead?
Bullhead and...
Yeah. So we built a couple trucks. We built a few of these trucks before. We're gonna build another one.
We still have two more that we can build, but
Yeah.
we don't want to do this all like each day at a time because it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. We do a little bit each weekend. Like this morning we raced some Hot Wheels. Last night we just went downstairs and we ran our trains, right? That was cool.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, you did really awesome on your testing for school, your map testing.
Yeah.
So this is kind of, we do some nice activities anyway. This is kind of a reward for trying really hard, okay? So the TAMIYA kits always have some really nice instructions. There is a lot of Japanese writing on there, but don't get a little discouraged about that because the instructions are actually pretty easy to follow. A lot of people see Japanese instructions and they just kind of say, oh my goodness, I cannot do this. You can do it. It's not a big deal. Dad knows very little Japanese, but it's only like a few words. I'm not that good at it.
If you can't read it, you can just follow this.
Right, yeah, you follow. So step number one, looks like we got, these are our wheels. There's some hub tools. Here's our big tires. We always kind of put our tires on backwards because you got to pay attention to the tread pattern. It's always kind of pointing forward on the tread pattern. That's something that we always kind of mess up.
The body's nicer than I thought.
Yeah, it's a nice body. It's a nice old 1980s Nissan pickup truck.
This is actually like one of those mud runner monster trucks.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. So, I think what we're going to do, Dad's going to open up the plastic on everything. So we could just go wild and just tear into that plastic, but I'm always a little bit concerned about breaking parts. These parts are pretty stout on this kit. Put all our plastic there, out of the way.
It says we have to paint it, but I'm not thinking to do that.
I don't think we really need to. We could paint it if we wanted to, but I don't think it's really necessary. So, decals look nice. Oh, it looks like, yeah. So it's white. They're nice peel and stick decals. So I don't think we really have to paint it. I think we just take our time with the decals, and I think we will do just fine. Well, you could paint it if you wanted to, but I don't think it's really necessary.
I think the decals is enough.
Yeah. When you get a little older, and you don't have to be supervised painting, we do paint stuff together, right? But when you get a little bit older, you can have a little space in your room where you build models and stuff like that. Dad used to do that. So here's all our electronics. There's battery contacts. There's our gears that'll make this thing go, and then a little DC style motor. This thing is going to be battery operated. I believe the other ones were 2 AA batteries, and then there's a little switch mechanism we have to put together and everything.
Last time I built a bit of something that you didn't help me with.
That's right, you've been starting to build things on your own, and that's pretty cool. So, let's see. Step number one, it shows us putting the windows into the body, and then the way that the TAMIYA kits go, there's going to be 2 little plastic thingies, which we have to be careful. Dad will cut these off. You're really good at using your little Bandai sprue cutters here. Little Bandai sprue cutters are awesome for kids because they're small.
I got it in.
Yeah, and then you need these little plastic, those little things. So once you're lined up, you push those on there. That'll do these because the little parts like to fly off. So it's gonna go right in there. Remember, kind of like on Bullhead, and that holds your window in place. We could glue it in place, but I don't feel it's necessary because these parts are TAMIYA kits are pretty top notch. Did you get it?
It's not in.
Okay, so some things need mommy and daddy's help. I think Dad got it. I got it. Okay, you know what I'm going to do, buddy? I think, so it says to remove this little tab, which we're going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to I'll put this in, and then there's another one. They're gray parts against our gray mats. I think I am going to glue that in case. It does fit really nice. I don't think any glue is really necessary on this kit, but sometimes with snap style kits, Dad decides to glue things, especially this, it's going to be battery powered. And when it is not like an ice planet, like it is outside right now, you like to play pretty rough with some of your stuff. See that? It's like poetry, I said. You like to play rough with some of your stuff. It looks like it's fit pretty well. So I have Model Master liquid cement.
It likes to wiggle a bit, but that's okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be just fine. So I'm just going to glue the plastic retainer tabs in there. That way, in the summertime when you decide to drive this thing off the concrete stoop, the glass doesn't come flying out of there, right? Because I know in the summertime you'll be playing out in the backyard and you're going to launch that guy down the slide or something along those lines. Okay, buddy, so I think we are looking at, you need this bar and then you need the light bar right next to it for now. If you want, you can start cutting those parts off. So that's, whoa, it's like a roll bar, okay? So that's what it's showing us to do next, all right?
The bar, I think the bar just makes the truck look cool.
It does, it makes it cool. It's like an off-road truck. So you know how to use your cutters, right? You know, you try to use just the tip, and then the cutter is right up against the point, and you keep your other hand out of the way, correct?
Yep.
Yep. So
there's little holes.
that is, if you look at the instructions, you see that there's actually a light bar there, see? So why don't you hand Dad
The light bar.
Yeah, that's your light bar. And that's gonna pop in there. So that is gonna take a little more time just to clean this up.
There's also a dirty light bar if you want.
Yeah, I think that might go someplace else, but we'll have a look, okay? Those lights may actually go into the body or something. Okay, so if you want, buddy, you could go ahead and you line that up in the back and you can see if you can pop that in, okay? I know some things are kind of tough. I'll cut the light bar out. I'm not sure what that other bar is. It's cool though. Might be an optional part. Maybe lights that go on the bumper, which it's not showing right now. Did you get it in there? Feel like it's pretty snug?
Yeah.
Can you pull it back out? Does it come out easy or no?
No.
No, once it's in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so light bar. These are the front of your lights where it's concave, where it's caved in. That's the front, so that's gonna go to the front of the truck. You wanna pop that in there?
That's gonna be easy.
Yeah, it is easy.
It is easy.
It is easy.
I
Whoa, that's pretty good. I'll tell you what. So, the next part you need, I think you need the chassis where the motor goes. You need the entire gearbox cover. So that's a gearbox cover. That's kind of where the wheels and tires are gonna go through as well. The axles go through there and the tires go outside and everything else.
Yep.
So how about Dad? You want Dad to put some of these stickers on for you?
Sure.
That sounds cool, huh?
Yeah.
And Dad?
I bet the stickers are good at all.
Yeah. I like to use a razor blade or something. Just don't let the kids use razor blades. Unless they're under like super duper supervision. So I'm just gonna start putting some of the decals on. And I may have to stop to help you at some point, right? So it says TAMIYA King Cab on there. That's pretty cool. And then we'll take our time to using a razor blade. That way my sausage-like fingers are not in the way when I'm positioning things. Always take your time. These are peel and stick, so once they're on, I think you're pretty well committed to what we have going on here. That is pretty good. Okay, so let's have a look at that. All right, so the gearbox cover looks pretty nice. I don't think anything is going to be. So the next thing we have, there's usually on the sprue a pinion press tool, which it looks like that guy. So I know the last time don't cut that off. Leave it. Gotta follow the instructions. So see, if we look at step number 3, there's a little gear pinion, that goes on the end of the motor, and you use that to push inside there. Those are mistakes that Daddy used to make. I would cut all the parts off and then read the instructions. You know, you just learn as life goes on. You're better off following instructions. Unless we're taking a cross-country trip and Dad gets lost, I refuse to ask for directions. We just keep driving until we find the way we go, right? Yeah, that's just the way Dad is. And Mom rolls her eyes at me. And then you roll your eyes at me. You're at the age now where you kind of question everything Dad does, right? Okay, so
I like
this.
to roll my knife. It's fun.
Yeah, so we got a box of gears. It's really not. Rolling your eyes is really not a good habit. Okay, so pinion goes on here. Once you set your cutters down, buddy, pinion's gonna go on the shaft. That's gonna get it started. And then you are going to push, grab the end of the motor and push down on that motor so that the pinion gets pressed down. Can you do that? No cutters. I know you just want to cut things. So you just put that in there, and then you push down on the end of the motor. Ready? Push. Yeah, there we go. You feel that little pop? Felt it?
Yeah.
It's on. It is on the way it is supposed to be. Boom, look at that. Okay. So, we're still on step 3. Guys, Dad kind of got ahead of himself. It shows you putting all the stickers on first, but we'll save that for last. Because then Mom could do like the crazy fast forward edit where we're just going putting our stickers on, right?
That's just silly.
Nobody needs to sit here for 40 minutes watching Dad put on stickers. Okay, so it is showing on the instructions, right? The tabs, the power tabs of the motor, these are your contacts, they're going to go down, okay? So, let's push this, we're gonna fish our pinion in there, right?
Yep.
And then you're going to pop the end bell in there, just push it, boom. That easy, right?
Yep.
Not bad. Okay, so we did that. Now, it has us moving on to step number 4, which is our gearbox assembly. You know what Dad keeps forgetting? I have Labelle lube down in the basement, but I keep forgetting to grab that. But what's cool, TAMIYA gives you a little bit of lubricant, and on their instructions it shows you everything that they want you to grease, okay? They give you just about enough grease to do this.
You also need enough grease to use for the axles to make it slide.
Yeah,
good enough.
on the gears and the axles, because these toys, they sound a little bit loud, but I think that's just the way that they're supposed to be.
Yeah,
So,
it's because of all the gears and stuff.
yeah. So there's 2 little metal spindles, I'm going to call them, and some little spacers. So we always gotta pay attention to everything. Read the instructions twice. Sometimes it's worth test fitting everything. I know you're excited because you just want to play with this thing in like 5 minutes. And you know what? The fun of it is building it.
Yeah.
So here's all our gears. So it looks like the smaller cog gears are going to just set right in these little holes with nothing on them. But let's go ahead, hang on. So they'll set up against the pinion. Those are like your main spur gear, okay?
Yeah. So the nutter gears go in this, connects to this little spot and this.
Yeah, the bigger, so what it is these sit up against the pinion gear, okay? Like that, and they just sit down in there. They're gonna be held in by the other gears. You wanna set the other one on the other side of that, over here. See where Dad put the grease? So those are driving off of your motor, right?
Yeah.
And they meet up with your pinion. The pinion's on the shaft. Put a little bit of grease in there. Sometimes Dad is a little wild with the grease. You know what it is. It's not a big deal. Okay.
It's okay.
So I think what we need to do now, we're going to put these little spindles in here, and those are going to hold our bigger spur gears. They're basically like secondary spur gears. That might be using too much grease here.
That's okay.
Yeah, I have more in the basement as a backup plan. So, sometimes the grease comes out of these tubes super easy, and sometimes it does not. So, you see where these little holes are? I kind of covered them with grease a little bit.
That's okay.
If you don't have grease, find an oil at your hobby shop. Like Labelle makes a plastic compatible oil that will not break down the plastic over time.
If you want to find more, if the hobby shop kits get sold out, there's also like a Hobby Lobby shop. They have some kits too.
They do. Hobby Lobby has some of these TAMIYA kits are not so much. We like our local hobby shop. He's a good guy. Lives close to us. He doesn't really live close, but he lives like in our vicinity. You know.
He lives in a closer town.
Yeah, it's nice to shop local. So here, I'm gonna put a little grease on this shaft. Let's see, I just keep trying to squeeze out a little and a lot comes out. So put it like this with the smaller spur out. Does that make sense? Okay. You get a little bit on your fingers, it's okay. You're washing it. There we go. Pop that in there, buddy. And then pretty sure I lubricated this. So they're plastic gears. They're going to make some noise, okay, but they're pretty true. These vehicles run really, really nice. The only one, we had one truck where I think we were kind of hard setting the truck down, and the body tends to want to rub the tires. We couldn't figure out what was going on. I didn't know if the motor died or the batteries died. It's in one of our videos. I think it's a Toyota Land Cruiser. I think we just kind of messed up the body when we were playing with it, but it's okay as long as we keep it off, it's fine.
Is there even any batteries in these?
Yeah, there's batteries in these. That's what makes them work. Do you think they just work by like osmosis? Like Dad just stares at them and they move? That'd be cool if I had those kind of powers, right? Yeah, it would be kind of cool. Okay, so now our gearbox cover is going to... So this, buddy, fishes in there like this. Think you can handle that? I'm going to get it started. And then you just kind of fish it in there and you get everything covered. You think you can handle that? I'll help you. Push it. Push. You hear some snapping? It's a good kind of snap, right? Not a breaking kind of snap. So our motor and our gearbox is assembled. Pretty cool. That's what makes it drive. Okay, so we did it. We did that. I don't think we missed anything. It's kind of hard on the video sometimes. Okay.
I'll take the wheels.
So here, yeah, let's be careful. Why don't you go ahead and remove all those wheels? All right. Remove all the wheels because it's showing us tires are the next step. Can you handle that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we may need the hub installation. No, the hub tools are these. So, but why don't you go ahead and remove all the wheels from the sprue, buddy. Go ahead. You can do your favorite part. Keep your finger clear of the cutting surface. Always opposite of what you're doing. Correct?
Yeah.
We'll probably Okay, so those are our hubs. They're going to go in there, like so. Even that's a little tough.
I was thinking to do the wheelie bar, but that's a bit crazy.
I bet you that is coming up on the back side of these instructions. I bet you. You know how much money you want to bet that's going to be on the back side of the instructions.
2.5.
2 5s. 2 5s is $10. You want to bet me $10? Do you think that the wheelie bar is in the instructions?
Yes.
Okay, well if you think that the wheelie bar is in the instructions, you do not want to bet Dad $10 that the wheelie bar is in the instructions. That was our argument, right? You don't even know. Is that an opinion or a fact?
Okay.
That's right, I bet you it's a fact. But yeah, it looks like we need those tools a little bit later. So why don't you go ahead and cut those?
We do need the wheelie bar.
I know, but we just had this conversation like 5 seconds ago. So they give us some little brass eyelets. Are you okay? You gonna be all right?
Yeah.
All right. So now we're gonna put our tires on. I think it's kind of more of a temporary deal. So what there are is axles. Looks like there's flats. I can't tell if there's flats on. Yeah, it's more like a hexagon-shaped axle, so it's not cylindrical. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do one axle at a time. So our tires that have the gear built into the hub, the back side of the hub, that goes on your gearbox side, correct?
Yep.
So brass eyelets go in the hole. That kind of keeps our axle centered. And I think it keeps the axle spinning smoothly in the plastic chassis. So let's see. All right, so that's in there, and then I'll tell you what, buddy. You want to help me out with this grease here? Can you squeeze a little bit of grease right there?
next we need to put these in. And once those are good, we can take them out and put the body on and stickers.
Yep. I think that's okay. Yeah, I got a little bit of play there, but it's not a big deal. I think the play is actually okay. All right, so that's that. So next, that's our chassis, right?
Yeah.
You hear the gears meshing? Yeah, that's cool. Gears are meshing up against our motor. Now we have to build a battery box, right? So that's gonna get started on the battery box. Boom.
Boom.
And that's going to be, there's an on-off switch. And then all of your battery contacts are in there, correct?
Yep.
You know what we need, buddy? We need that battery strap. Dad will work on, I will work on, so I need the battery strap, and then I also need, they don't really tell you what any of these parts are, so Dad's just like calling out some terminology here, just trying not to make stuff up, but like an educational guess of what, educated guess of what you would actually call it. Okay, so you got the strap, right? There's another part somewhere. There's a part, buddy, that looks like this. Oh, that's what it is. It's the battery contact. So that's actually your switch. It's a switch with 2 battery contacts on it. Okay, so that's what it is. It's just on the drawing. They have it flipped upside down, so it looks different to Daddy. All right, so that's more how it looks on step number 7. All right, so short contact is going to go on this side. This is pretty straightforward. They just kind of pop right on in there. No need for any dielectric grease or anything like that. And then this guy is going to go right down in there, right? Our contacts.
Yep.
I'm doing this because I worry, and the brass, it's smooth, but I worry that you'll hurt your fingers on the edge or something. It is pretty safe. Okay, and then what's really awesome about these kits is that they snap. Pretty much everything snaps together, like super duper easy. Oh yeah. What goes up must come down. I don't know why I'm singing that song. That's a little weird. Okay, so you kind of like that that's weird though, right?
Yeah.
Somewhat entertaining. Okay, so batteries are in, and then I'm just gonna smooth this out a little bit, buddy.
Wait,
Good,
the engine is works by the batteries.
That's right. Yeah, I think we're gonna do a test run here really soon. So I'm really not quite sure why they want us to use those tools. 2 wheel runs. Oh. Huh? 2-wheel run. Oh, okay. So you don't even really need this hub pressing tool. That's kind of more for 2-wheel runs is what that is. So if you wanted to put the truck on its side up against something, it would just kind of balance. So that's kind of cool. Maybe we'll try that. Mm-hmm. Just making sure. So those are your 2 contacts, and then I think it wants you to bend these up. See these 2 little brass contacts here? So you slid them in there before. Now you bend them up because that actually makes contact with your motor, right?
Yep.
And let's figure out that. Make sure it's in the off position. So then I think we're going to go ahead and figure out. Yep. So switch usually hangs off the back of these. Here, I'll tell you what, you want to try and snap that, and Dad's going to try and line it up. Why don't you go ahead and snap it down. There we go. That was a good snap, not a break-in snap. I like that. Okay, so watch your fingers when you turn these on. And it works. You know what, this one is a lot quieter. Maybe all that grease that Dad put in the gearbox, it's a lot quieter than Bullhead. Remember?
Yeah, he's a bit like...
Yeah, he makes quite a bit of noise. So that's our chassis. That's all done. Okay. Matter?
This is good.
I'm pretty sure the switch is in the back.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, that would be backwards, right? Whoa! No, that's right. That's how it is. That's how this one is. Usually, I think on Bullhead the switch was in the back, wasn't it? Yeah. I don't know, unless we put something together backward. No, we're right. So there's your wheelie bar deals. Okay. So we're okay. We're right. So you want to go ahead and cut
The
those
wheelie
off?
bar is in the front.
No, they're in the back. It's just Dad was looking at this backwards. So I think bullhead goes together a little bit different. It's okay. So are we missing any steps here? Oh, there we go. So we need this and this. So that's why things look weird to Dad, because these are like rear shocks that hold up the bed. So you need these and that guy. So let's
I
cut
thought
those.
this was a suspension.
It is suspension. That goes back in there, yeah. It's just a little different than bullhead. There you go. Here's your pliers back. All right. And then while we have a little bit of downtime, go ahead. You cut all that stuff out of there, partner. We also need to put the front and rear differential on. Sometimes we're just yapping, right? We're just yapping.
One
Okay, so we got all of our decals on, right, buddy? Looks pretty good. I like it. Everything's working. Nice. That's a nice, sharp-looking truck. You can run it up against bullheaders, right? We have bullhead, and we still have another one of these we have to build somewhere. You see, like our first one, bullhead, we put the tires on backwards. We didn't even pay attention, but the treads are right on this one. Eventually, one day we'll make that right. And then we have the smaller scale TAMIYA that we built before. You want to show everybody how that works, buddy? Let's see how it goes.
bullhead's a bit loud.
Yeah, that's all right. I think we used a lot more grease on this guy. So he goes. Ooh, look at it. Look how quiet this guy is. So we probably did something wrong on our first builder. We just need a whole lot more grease. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's only 8 degrees outside today, so we are not going to go outside. He's so cool. Nice. Let's try putting him in a wheelie. Oh, look at that. He does a wheelie. That's awesome. Yeah, he does wheelies for a little bit. You like that truck? Yeah, I like it. I think it's pretty cool. That's not a bad way to spend a Saturday morning, early afternoon.